Two of the most brilliant minds ever conceived in anime stand on the precipice of a battle unlike any other. One wields the Death Note, a supernatural notebook with the power to end lives just by writing names within its pages. The other commands the Geasses, a mysterious power capable of bending the wills of others with a single command. This is not a fight of strength or sheer force. It's a war of intellect, strategy, and psychology. Light Yagami, the godlike Kira, believes in creating a new world purged of evil through absolute justice. Lelouch Lamperouge, the masked revolutionary Zero, fights to overthrow tyranny and build a world of freedom through rebellion and manipulation. Today, we dive deep into the most dangerous mind game in anime history, Light Yagami versus Lelouch. We will uncover their origins, motivations, tactics, and the relentless mental chess that defines their conflict. So buckle up, because this is a battle where every word, every glance, and every decision could be the difference between victory and oblivion. Light Yagami was once a brilliant student, the epitome of academic excellence and moral clarity. He despised the crime and corruption that plagued society. Feeling the justice system was too weak to fix it, his life changed forever when he discovered the Death Note, a notebook dropped by the Shinigami Ryuk. The rules were simple, yet terrifying. Write a person's name, and they die. Light seized this power and resolved to become the new god of justice. Taking the name Kira, his goal was to eliminate criminals and create a perfect world, one where peace reigned. No evil lurked, and he was the ultimate arbiter of fate. But wielding such power is a double-edged sword. The world soon turned against Kira, branding him a mass murderer. The police formed a secret task force, led by the genius detective known only as L, determined to stop him. Light's genius shone brightest in this battle of wits, anticipating moves, manipulating allies and enemies alike, and always staying several steps ahead. He was cold, calculating, and utterly convinced that his cause justified any means. His intelligence was matched only by his ruthless determination. Yet, despite his godlike confidence, Light was a human, vulnerable to emotion, pride, and the crushing weight of his own conscience. The Death Note granted him power over death, but it also pushed him into an endless spiral of paranoia and moral ambiguity. Lelouch Lamperouge was born into a world of privilege, but betrayed by his own family, exiled and stripped of his titles. He sought justice and revenge against the oppressive Britannian Empire. Everything changed when he met Cece, a mysterious girl who bestowed upon him the power of the Geasses, the ability to command anyone's will, absolutely, with a single eye contact. With this power, Lelouch became Zero, a revolutionary leader dedicated to overthrowing Britannia's tyranny and reshaping the world for the better. But Lelouch's genius was not just in his power. He was a master strategist, manipulator, and actor. He knew the value of sacrifice, deception, and alliances, carefully weaving a web that entrapped his enemies. His rebellion was not just physical, but psychological, striking fear, doubt, and confusion into the hearts of his foes. Yet beneath the mask and grand schemes was a man driven by love, guilt, and a desperate hope for peace. Lelouch's power had limits. The Geasses could only be used once per person and required direct eye contact, forcing him to plan carefully. His brilliance was tested by his own emotions, sometimes clouding his judgment and threatening his mission. Still, his resolve was unbreakable. Every move he made was a step toward freedom. even if it meant becoming a villain in the eyes of the world. Now, imagine a reality where the paths of Kira and Zero cross, a world where Tokyo's undercurrent of fear and the political chaos of Britannia converge into a single battlefield. Light, ever watchful, notices a new player, a masked revolutionary whose influence is spreading fast. Lelouch, on the other hand, becomes aware of a mysterious force that kills with words alone. Neither knows the other's true identity, but both recognize a formidable adversary. Each views the other as an existential threat, one who could shatter their vision of a better world. This is not just a clash of powers, but a collision of ideologies and methods. Light's cold, divine justice versus Lelouch's fiery, rebellious freedom. Their battleground is the mind, where deception is the sharpest weapon and trust is the rarest currency. Light's first step is to uncover Zero's identity. Without a name, the Death Note is useless. So information becomes his greatest weapon. He uses his network of informants and his keen intellect to analyze every move Zero makes. By planting false information, he attempts to flush out Zero's allies and dismantle the rebellion from within. Light manipulates the media, portraying Zero as a dangerous terrorist responsible for chaos and destruction. He sows fear and doubt in the public mind, turning opinion against Lelouch's cause, but Light remains careful, hiding behind layers of secrecy and deception. His own name is a secret, protected by body doubles, forged alibis, and meticulous planning. Psychological warfare becomes his forte, creating paranoia inside. Lelouch's ranks by leaking false betrayals and faked defections. Light's reliance on the supernatural powers of the Death Note, however, is also a potential weakness. Without Zero's real name, he must rely on more traditional methods of espionage and manipulation. Every move he makes is calculated to provoke a reaction, to draw Zero out into the open. Lelouch counters with equal cunning. His guesses is powerful but limited, so he relies heavily on his charisma, leadership, and the loyalty of his followers. He orchestrates complex plans with multiple layers, creating distractions, fake alliances, and diversions. Lelouch knows Light is always watching and anticipating, so he uses misinformation to protect his identity. The guesses allows him to extract secrets from enemies and turn them into pawns. He can manipulate individuals to betray each other, creating chaos within Light's organization. Lelouch's greatest strength is his adaptability. When one plan fails, he swiftly pivots, making it nearly impossible for Light to pin him down. He exploits Light's arrogance, baiting him into traps where the Death Note's power is less effective. At the same time, Lelouch carefully controls public perception, painting Kira as a mass murderer while positioning Zero as a hero of the oppressed. As the battle intensifies, both begin targeting each other's supporters. Light uses the Death Note to eliminate key figures in Lelouch's rebellion. Striking silently and unpredictably, Lelouch responds by using his guesses to infiltrate Light's inner circle, turning allies into enemies. Trust becomes a scarce commodity. Paranoia runs rampant on both sides. At one point, Lelouch stages a false surrender to lure Light into a trap. Light almost falls for it, tempted by the opportunity to write Zero's name. But Lelouch's foresight and knowledge of Light's psychology allow him to escape unscathed. Meanwhile, Light uses decoys, fake deaths, and aliases to confuse Lelouch's intelligence network. This back-and-forth mind game pushes both men to the limits of their genius and sanity. Eventually, they meet face to face, a battle not of fists, but of wills. Light tries desperately to discover Lelouch's real name to end the fight instantly, but Lelouch's careful precautions and Geass's powers prevent this at every turn. In a stunning twist, Lelouch manipulates one of Light's closest confidants using guesses. Turning the tide, plans unravel, secrets spill, and both sides suffer devastating losses. The climax is a tense standoff, where only one can prevail, but the cost is immeasurable. In the end, neither truly wins. Both walk away changed, haunted by the battle and the sacrifices made. So who is the ultimate mastermind? The god of death who controls life and death itself, or the revolutionary who commands the very will of others? The truth is, in a battle of such genius, there are no real winners. Light and Lelouch's war is a tragic tale of ambition, power, and sacrifice. It shows us the dangers of absolute control and the complexity of human motives. Their conflict leaves us questioning the nature of justice, freedom, and the price we pay for both. As their minds remain locked in an eternal struggle, we are reminded that sometimes the greatest battles are fought within the mind, where the stakes are higher than life or death. Thank you for joining this epic journey through the ultimate anime mind game. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more legendary anime battles and analyses.